What's up, guys? I'm Caden with Crypto Now or Never. Today I'm going to be going over one of my favorite low cap gems as it has recently exploded. Make sure you stay tuned until the end of the video. None of this is financial advice. Let's get into it.
I have a dream, that's all I need. I'll make it happen with some work and belief.
So this was Verasity the last time I talked about it. It was under half of a penny, and we had it drawn on a massive falling wedge. And this is Verasity now. It took a little bit longer to play out of the falling wedge. However, if you guys had taken this trade, you could have made about 120% in 3 months. And I know in crypto, 120% might not sound like a crazy amount, but if you compare that to the stock market, the average return is 10% in a year. That would mean that we made in 3 months what the stock market makes in 12 years, which are actually pretty incredible gains. And if you enjoy making gains in the crypto market, please do me a favor and hit that like and subscribe button. Help me pump that algorithm. I would greatly appreciate it. I've made many profitable calls during this bear market, and I will continue doing so in the future, so stay tuned. But anyways, I'll go deeper into the chart at the end of the video. So VRA is currently trading at 0.007. It has a market cap of 72 million, which ranks 347th among all cryptocurrencies. Now, what's interesting about Verasity is its circulating supply, 10.2 billion out of a max supply of 100 billion, which is only 10% in circulation. However, I have been corrected in the comment section, and based on the research I've done, 90 billion of the tokens will never be released, which would theoretically mean that all of the tokens are already in circulation. So why it says the max supply is still 100 billion, I'm not entirely sure. But if you are familiar with Veracity's supply, let me know down in the comment section below. Now, Verasity is currently down 91% from its all-time high that it reached during the 2021 bull market of just over 8 cents. And if you're looking to trade Verasity, I recommend using KuCoin. I think it's the easiest centralized exchange to use. And now we'll go over some Verasity news. So if you come over to their Twitter, which has 318,000 followers, I'll start off with their pinned tweet November 6th. POV marker token migration update. We have already met with and identified 7 layer 1 blockchain protocols to evaluate their potential for POV token migration. These range from top 50 protocols by market cap to newly emerging blockchain ecosystems with novel technologies. This process will continue while we identify the best chain for POV and our commercial requirements. We invite representatives of other layer 1 ecosystems to discuss our plans for POV tokens and community members to give feedback below. So this is obviously a pretty big update for Verasity. Personally, I will be very curious to see what they choose. And now let's talk about this repost. Understanding ad fraud, a breakdown of common deceptive practices. Ad fraud methods include redirect attacks, click farms, video viewing fraud, click bots, pixel stuffing, and competitor click abuse. Verasity Tech provides a blockchain solution against ad fraud through POV. And personally, I think this use case is absolutely huge. I understand a lot of you guys watching this video probably do not care about advertisements, but the fact of the matter is that a lot of big time companies will care about advertisements and stopping advertisement fraud. And I would argue about 99% of us are in crypto to make money. That's the whole reason we're here. So if Verasity is able to garner institutional attention, that could be extremely bullish. And now what they posted November 12th, VRA is back in KuCoin's gem box ahead of Solana in popularity. And that is insane. Remember, Veracity's market cap is only 72.5 million. Solana, on the other hand, has a market cap of 23.8 billion. There is absolutely no reason for VRA to be ahead of Solana in popularity, which just goes to show that even after Verasity skyrocketed in price, it still could be extremely undervalued. And then this is the last piece of news that I want to cover. It's what they reposted November 11th. The Vera followers count on CoinMarketCap have recently surpassed 215,000, and the number of watch lists with VRA in them continues to soar, now exceeding over 400,000. Again, it is incredible to see how much attention a project with only a $72.5 million market cap is actually getting. But now we'll go over some macro news that could affect VRA's price action, even though it's not directly correlated to VRA. So the first piece of news that I want to cover is what they posted 10 minutes ago. China's largest board and card game company, Boya, I'm not entirely sure if I pronounced that correctly, but is to acquire $90 million worth of Bitcoin and Ethereum. And obviously this just goes to show that crypto is not going anywhere in the future. It is here to stay. And then they posted 2 hours ago, US inflation falls to 3.2%, lower than expectations. Now, whether or not this number is actually correct, who knows? But to that same point, they just posted 20 hours ago, Argentina's inflation rises to 143%. 50%. Now, the reason the US dollar is a lot lower is because they are the world reserve currency. Pretty much every country in the world is forced to soak up our inflation like a sponge. However, if there comes a day where the US dollar is no longer the world reserve currency, watch out because inflation will get astronomically bad. Now, the reason I bring that up is because you have to remember Verasity has a capped supply. Now, whether or not it's true that 90 billion will never get released, either way, Verasity has a capped supply, whether that's 10 billion or 100 billion. The fact of the matter is that the US dollar and all these other fiat currencies do not have capped supplies, and they have no intrinsic value, which in turn will always make them fail as a store of value, whereas any cryptocurrency that has a capped finite supply will always succeed as a store of value, at least from a fundamental standpoint. And then the last thing that I want to talk about is what they posted November 9th. So BlackRock officially files for a spot Ethereum ETF with NASDAQ. And to that same point, BlackRock is also confident the SEC will approve its spot Bitcoin ETF by January. And if you've watched my channel in the past at all, you know I am extremely bullish on the Bitcoin spot ETF. I think it will help bring trillions of dollars to the industry. However, this Ethereum ETF could be even more important. And the reason for that is because by definition, Ethereum is an altcoin. So if Ethereum gets a spot ETF approved, it can start a snowball effect. And we can start seeing a bunch of other cryptos get spot ETFs approved, which could be enormous for the industry. But now I want to take a look at the Crypto Fear and Greed Index, just to show you guys where we are right now. And that is at that 69 level, which is greedy. So why measure fear and greed? The crypto market behavior is very emotional. People tend to get greedy when the market is rising, which results in FOMO. Also, people often sell their coins in irrational reaction of seeing red numbers. With our Fear and Greed Index, we try and save you from your own emotional overreactions. There are two simple assumptions. Extreme fear can be a sign that investors are too worried. That could be a good buying opportunity. On the contrary, when investors are getting too greedy, that could mean the market is due for a correction. Now, obviously, this indicator is not the end-all indicator, but from my experience, it's usually pretty accurate. I was showing you guys this indicator about a month ago when we were down at that 42 level, which was fearful, and Bitcoin was trading at 26,100, and everyone was talking about how Bitcoin was going to go beneath 20,000 and how crypto was going to have a massive drop. And I was telling you, realistically speaking, that is when you should be buying cryptocurrency. However, now we are in that greedy region, which realistically should be when you are taking profits. Obviously, that's not financial advice. Do what's best for you. But again, I just want you to understand the overall sentiment of the crypto market right now. Now, for the final part of this video, we'll go over some technical analysis. So this is VRA on the daily time frame. And as I said, props to any of you guys that took this massive falling wedge. You could have made 120% in 3 months. But anyways, what am I saying right now? The RSI was extremely overbought and the stochastics are still pretty overbought. And not just on the daily, but also on the 3-day, and even the weekly is pretty overbought. In addition, if you look at price action, we swing from a lower high to a higher high. The RSI is higher high to lower high. That is a massive Class A bearish divergence, which typically signals a local top has been reached. Now, you could argue that that has already started to play out. And actually, it's using the high volume node on the VRVP and the previous high as support perfectly, which is actually a pretty good sign. And I do also want to point out the 21-day moving average has broken above the 200-day moving average. That is a golden cross, which typically signals an explosive move is coming. So a potential scenario is that as this 21-day moving average creeps up, price action could get a bounce off of it as support. And we theoretically could get another explosive move up. But I will say, for me personally, I do not ever like to chase a parabolic move. In my experience, rarely does that work out well for you. So in the meantime, I personally am going to stay out of a VRA trade. I just think the overall crypto market is going to have to cool down a little bit. Now, lastly, we'll go over Bitcoin as it's correlated to most altcoins. So similar to VRA, the RSI is extremely overbought, and not just on the daily, but also on the 3-day, and then even on the weekly time frame, it's very overbought. In addition, price action is trading way above all of the moving averages and the high volume node on the VRVP. Usually these indicators work as magnets, coupled with the fact that Bitcoin pumped from 26,000 up to 38,000 in a couple weeks, which definitely can be classed as a parabolic move. And as I said, I don't like chasing parabolic moves, but if you are a little bit riskier, you could argue that Bitcoin was trading in a bull flag, which break up 68% of the time, and it has a huge measure move to over $42,000. And similar to VRA, the 21-day moving average has broken above the 200-day moving average, which is a golden cross. So a potential scenario is that price action bounces off the 21-day moving average as support, and it skyrockets up to the measured move. But again, just to be clear, this does not fit my trade style at all, with the extremely overbought RSI and stochastics, and the other bearish indicators. So personally, I'm going to let the crypto market cool down a little bit before I hop into a Bitcoin or VRA trade. But as I say in every single one of my videos, macroeconomics significantly outweigh technical analysis. So if all of a sudden these Bitcoin spot ETFs get approved, that could skyrocket the entire market. On the contrary, if some very bearish news comes out, that could tank the entire market. So just understand in the short term, crypto is going to be extremely volatile. Anything can happen. But that's about all. Let me know down in the comment section if there's any other microcap gems you would like me to cover in the future. If you found this content valuable, please do me a favor and hit that like and subscribe button. Thank you guys for watching. Have a great rest of your day.